Republic of Nigeria. Without that, he won't be there. So ECOWAS, be responsible as the leader and say, I am going there wherever you go. ECOWAS, United Nations, AU, you are there to protect the interests of Nigeria. This is exactly what I said.
Should we have, as good neighbors spanning several decades, try to resolve this matter, engage bilaterally, rather than multilaterally, use of ECOWAS? Should the president have said, let me speak to the copies directly, Niger Republic bilateral relations framework? Should have been an option?
Right, good. I mean, what this is showing exactly is inexperience, and understandable. 9 weeks old, inexperience of this government on the international scene. What he's been doing with the economy, with this Niger crisis, clearly shows he shoots before asking questions. There has been a precedent, a history of Niger going through a coup, even killing a president, Nigeria coming in. In 2000, during President Obasanjo's reign, in 1999, President Mainasara was shot at the airport. There was a coup by Major Wanka. There was a coup in Niger. President Obasanjo was just 1 year old. Of course, ECOWAS did all the meeting. What happened? Was the President Obasanjo, because his experience and he had his cabinet, the Minister of Foreign Affairs then was Sule Lamido. They went through the back door and continued negotiations. Absolutely. Continued negotiations. What happened was that eventually Wanka was moved out of power and there was a transition. And Mohammed Tanja became the president. But there was no threat is we're going to come gun-ho with tanks, and we don't do that.
What the recall what he said while assuming office as ECOWAS president, as if he knew there were some military purge in West African nations in the pipeline. He stated clearly that the era of coup is over and it must not be tolerated. Is this president not enforcing the policy framework he has set for himself as ECOWAS chairman?
Yeah, but who delegated him to do that? Nigerians did not vote for him to be the policeman of Africa, to be the apostle of democracy.
But Nigeria is a member,
right.
a leading member of ECOWAS?
We are leading members of the United Nations. This is exactly the template of the United States of America. The United States of America has been going around the world saying the policemen of the world, they want to bring democracy. See where Libya is today. See where Iraq is. See where Afghanistan is.
But we intervene militarily in Liberia and Syria.
The difference is,
and it fetched dividends.
Right. The difference is not in our back door. War in your back door is different from war outside. Sierra Leone and Liberia, they were, and we went to bring peace, not to cause war against a neighbor that has not attacked us. People say, oh, we intervene in Gambia, we intervene in Liberia. Gambia, Liberia, Sierra Leone, they are not across the border from Katana, where I come from, or Daura, where President Muhammad Buhari comes from, or Sokoto, where the Sultan comes from, or Maiduguri, where the Shehu Borno comes from.
What's the level of affinity? Because even the president, former president, has said, I have cousins over there. What's the level of affinity?
Of course, we are the same people. We are the same people. Hausas, Kanuris, Zabarmawas, and we have intermarried over the years. And here you are, and I say something that has been overlooked. President Muhammad Buhari, of course, has lineages like I do across the border. Here you are, APC former president, handed over power to you, and the first thing you want to pay him with is bring war in his backyard. Incinerate his backyard so that he cannot even stay and live. You don't have that respect for him?
No.
And another thing, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is occupying the villa today because of the overwhelming votes he gets from the north. We have said no. Our lawmakers have said no. Our traditional rulers have said no. Our clerics have said no. We the people have said no. You haven't talked to Nigerians. You've been talking to ECOWAS.
Yes. You know, he is the president of Nigeria. He's not the president of northern Nigeria. He may want to consider overriding national interests.
Right. So what I'm saying is that he hasn't spoken to Nigerians. All we have seen of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and his advisors are him at the conferences with ECOWAS meeting. He has not addressed the nation. Neither has his national security advisor. Neither has his any service chiefs. We don't have a minister, any minister to come and talk to us. So you're not talking to people. You just wrote a letter to the Senate. Say, hi guys, give me permission to go to war. The senators say, no, you cannot do that. And he cannot go to war without the authorization of. So, to be honest, this is the way we are seeing it in the North. He's taking us for granted. This is huge contempt of the people. People are against it. People that voted you in, you're not talking to them. You're taking the nation to war. Nobody in your administration is talking to people. Look at the clerics that went and visited him, including Sheikh Lahiru Bauchi, over 90 years old, on a wheelchair. He was wheeled to the villa to see him. Ordinarily, it is Bola Ahmed Tinubu or his vice president that should go and see, that should go and consult with elders like that. He came and talked to you. We don't want war, because there's no reason for that war. There are ways to solve this problem.
Don't assume you are a Superman, because you're not. During Obasanjo's regime, President Mensaris was short and major wreck seized power in Niger. Professor Usman tells Tinubu, and nothing happened. Obasanjo focused on his job, continued, and led Nigerians to ensure that there was no issue. If Obasanjo has allowed Nigeria to go to war, you won't have a country today where you would have contested an election and say you won. So the wreck of things that have happened is obvious for all to see. So don't go into any form of wars thinking you are speaking for Nigerians. You're not. You're doing things for yourself. So it is important that we begin to understand this. If the North is warning you seriously about issues that have gone on ground, don't make a mistake. Go ahead and think that you can get free and you can just set yourself free from all of this. Please don't forget to give us a thumbs up. Like us, share, subscribe. It's happening. See the new issues of what is going on now. Former Executive Secretary of the National Health Insurance Scheme, Professor Usman Yusuf, has disclosed that there is a precedent of Nigerians intervening in Niger to restore democracy without the use of force. He made this statement while reacting to the recap coup in Niger. While speaking during a program on AIT News, Professor Usman said, in 1999, under Olusegun Obasanjo's tenure as the president of Nigeria, the then president of Niger, Ibrahim Masara, was shot at an airport in a coup led by Major Wanke. He said, thanks to Obasanjo's experience and effort of his cabinet members, democracy was peacefully restored in Niger. These are things that have happened before in Niger without talks of guns and tanks. According to Professor Usman, there has been precedent history of Niger going through a coup, even killing a president, and Nigeria coming in. During Obasanjo's regime in 1999, Obasanjo sorted it out. Nobody ever even remembered if there was an issue because it was properly sorted out. It was President Obasanjo's experience and his cabinet, how they went about handling the issue, that sorted it out. Sali Ulemedo, they went through the backdoor channel, continued negotiation, and what happened was that eventually Waka was removed out of power and there was a transition. Tanjo became the president. There was no threat, and we are coming together. There was no threat of using guns or tanks. So Tinubu should not think he's the first person that has been in this situation. If he goes to any war with Niger. He has picked a fight with the North because we will not allow this to happen. He's not the first president to deal with a situation that has gone on in Niger. He must be careful and do not allow himself to be a puppet in the hand of those who are in their country having a rest. Any mistake of taking this nation into a situation of war with Niger would have damaged our relationship forever. So, my lovelies, this is what is happening. You heard our brother, he said, you heard the Northern Elder, he said this is not the first time there will be issues in Niger. He said it's not the first time that there have been issues in Niger and the sky did not turn pink. The sky did not turn blue. It was sorted out peacefully by an experienced president and is expecting Tinubu to put on that hat, that cap, and show himself, as a man who has knowledge rather than following leads from other nations who are resting and having a field day on their own side. He said it was not this president was not even killed. In that situation, the president was shot dead. But Olusegun Obasanjo was able to manage the situation, and, apprehend it, nip it at the bud. And there was no talk of wars and guns, saying if Tinubu goes to war with Niger at this point in time, he's picking a fight and a war with the North, because we don't, they are our closest neighbor, to be quite candid, closest neighbor. So Nigeria has gone through this part before. What he needs to do is seek counsel and not go ahead and just begin to talk to anybody. He must be patient. He must become very careful of the decisions he's making, as this is going to affect, a lot of Nigerians. So it is what it is. It is what it is. And nobody should think that, you can just do things on your own. No single tree, no matter how big you are, if you like, be as big as a duplex, you cannot form a forest. It's you and the combination of others that forms this forest. It's not just you. It's not just you. It's not just the you. So these are some of the things that are happening, and the North has strictly warned Tinubu again and again. The warning keeps coming. So Obasanjo has done this before, and the sky did not fall off. So don't get it twisted. Don't get yourself all worked up because of a group of people who are really sincerely speaking, seem not to get themselves together. If there is any time in the history of the nation where we need peace, it is now more than ever. And so it is time for every single person to really watch out, and ensure that, things are done decently and in order. And Nigeria takes the next step in ensuring, that things are sorted. So these are some of the things that are happening. And, the North is seriously against any form of, violence. And they stated it again and again. And it's very, very glaring and clear. Again, we have seen some of the issues that are happening right now. We have seen that our very own brother, Tinubu and ECOWAS, they've also reached, a conclusion for dialogue and peace to go on, to have a conversation and to see how that takes on after Nigeria's president sent, the northern elders and leaders, traditional leaders, emirs, to say, what can we do to have that negotiation, So these are some of the things that are happening. Okay, so it is what it is. It is what it is. So every single person needs to work at it and ensure that we do not, leave ourselves in the hands of those who could possibly lead us into an unforeseen circumstances, So every single person needs to work and act now. Please don't forget to give us a thumbs up, like us, share, subscribe. Click on the notification button so you can have all our latest news. God bless. Have a fantastic and a lovely day. From us, is bye for now.